How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 25 for all platforms called the Alps. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, number of purchasable fields 31, average acre size 2.1 hectares, number of purchasable forest lands 5, water can be taken from the river/lake or from the small pond near the farm. The Alpine is a retro map of a highly successful Erlengrot from FS19/22, now in a revised FS25 look with many new models and productions that once again immerse you in the Alpine agriculture. The many small to medium-sized fields and forests are equipped with the latest fruits and trees, allowing you to experience the fun of FS25 in the Alps. The popular collectible cheese pieces are back, and the wonderful animal dealer, now accessible, is also back. A new starting farm with some new buildings is part of the FS25 look, as is a ski area with real skiers that transports you to the world of the Alps. This is a European map and is created by Lamai, and is 1,100.6 megabytes to download. There are mods required for this map, and they are the Animal Transport and the Cody Garrett VE8000, both of them by Lamai. Yes, the map maker. The person who made the map also made these required mods. And if we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. We start up here right in the north center portion of the map at our main starting farm. And we start out by owning farmlands number 50 and 51. 50 being your main starting farm right here, and 51 being mostly a grass field that is ready to harvest. Field prices around the map do vary, but for the most part, they're rather expensive, at least the ones I came across. So starting out here, 52, $100,000 for 4 acres. We got 10 acres here for $270,000, got 335, 702, we got 205, 223, 417, over here at 333, 956, we got $1,018,000, over here 635, 478, 1.01 million, 1.6, 500,000, 321, and so on and so forth. You can see, I mean, it's just very expensive. And here's the kicker, is that because everything is just so expensive on this map, and you only have really one field to your name, it's going to take you a long time to expand on this map. You're going to have to sit there and grind and grind and grind until you finally get enough of something to be able to make some progress and make some headway. You do start out with animals on this particular... Oh, and actually, oops, you cannot purchase all areas of the map. As you can see, the main town area here and some of the other sell point areas are not purchasable on this map. We do start out with some animal pens. We have a chicken pasture, sheep barn, and horse pasture. Contracts are available on this map. We do have productions available on this map, but none to start out with. And if we take a look at the collectibles available on this map, we do have them, 12 of them to be precise, and they are the little cheese wedges that we are used to from Erlengrot. Now, as the description in the video said, that this is essentially Erlengrot. It's very highly reimagined. There's a bunch of cool details that have not been, as far as I'm aware, in previous iterations of Erlengrot. So it's... yeah, this is Erlengrot, but Erlengrot plus. We'll put it that way. So if we take a look at mods specific to this map, starting with the buy menu, we do have a mods and DLCs tab here, but there is no tile that indicates that it is a part of the Alps map. So there's nothing specific to this map on this particular page. And then if we take a look at our build menu, starting out down on buildings and sheds, you scroll all the way down, you'll see it says shed the Alps mod. The Alps mod is what we're looking for. Those are the mods that are specific to this map. And then under silos, same thing down here. We do have a couple that are specific to this map. Under silo extensions, again, we do have one here for the Alpine Farm silo extension. There is nothing for constructibles, containers, or tools, but under farmhouses, again, you'll see a couple here that are specifically made for this map. Under productions, there's absolutely nothing under this tab, nothing for factories, selling points, greenhouses, cultivation, or generators. Under animals, though, that's a different story. Under cows, we definitely have one right here, the cow barn for the Alps. We also have a, we also have a horse pasture. We also have a pig barn. We also have a sheep barn, and we also have a, there we go. A chicken pasture. We also have bees. That's right. We have bees. It's not often that you can say that there are mods specific to this map under the bees category, but breaking that streak here, we don't have anything under animals or under others. Under decorations, we have nothing under fences, lights, others, or decorations. And then lastly, under landscaping, if we take a look under our painting swatches, we do have several additional painting swatches available to us. So those are mod specific to this map. We do have trees that are available here. So these are mods, again, specific to this map. And again, we do have plants. So lots of stuff that are specific to this map under the build menu. So now let's go ahead and take a look around the starting farm. So let's go ahead and just kind of make our way over towards the actual starting farm. We are just slightly off of the starting farm, but we'll go walk right to it. And that's all right. So right here is the start of the starting farm. So let's take a look at some of our starting equipment. If we go under the start menu and go under, vehicles, we start out with the Abbey 550 water tanker, the Albert bale spike, the Albert pallet fork, Albert universal bucket, the Branther Z 18051 2XXL Powerflex trailer. We have the Bachmann Big Master Western WCF animal trailer. Now this has been modified, as you can see, because normally this will only accept horses, but this one will take cows, pigs, and sheep. We've got the Claas W600, we have the Claas W600, so two of those. The Capello Diment 8, this is a corn sunflower header. We have a FarmTech EDK 650 trailer, another EDK 650 trailer, a Fendt 314 Vario, Fendt 516 Vario, a Fendt 5275 CSL harvester, the Fendt FreeFlow 25 footer header, International Series 200, again, this is one that's been modified. This will allow you to take things such as your pigs, sheep, as well as chickens. So this is also a mod that is required for the map. So the previous one that I pointed out, the Bachmann, that is also one of the required mods. We have a K-Brand GA4731 windrower, a K-Brand GMD 3123F front mower. They got the Noach EcoMax Cultivator 300. We have the Cody VE8000 slurry digestate spreader, Massey Ferguson MF 1840 baler, that's the baby baler. We got the Nardi N40BX header trailer, Pottinger Alpine Hit 4.4H tedder, Pottinger Boss Alpine 251 forage wagon, Pottinger Servo 25 plow, Quickie Q4M front loader. We got the Rigid Track SKH60 technically tractor. We'll categorize it under tractor, and that's it. That is all the starting equipment. So you start out pretty strong on this map. Here we have our sleep trigger, wardrobe trigger, water tank, fuel tank with the refill on this side over here. Over here we have a bale storage. We have 9 bales already in here. You can see we got 3 grass, 3 straw, and 3 hay. And over here we have our chicken pasture, but take note, down at the bottom right-hand corner, it says chicken pasture, animals 3 of 20. So we have 3 chickens in here right now. We have room for 200 of them. Health 100% because they have food, but very bottom there, these chickens need water. So this is something, again, that is part of the specific to this map mod. And yeah, this one requires water. Normally chickens don't. Output for your eggs is there. You can load in here with your animals. Water goes here and feed goes here. Next door to that is the sheep barn. 6 sheep in here. 43 can fit into this whole pasture total. But again, taking a look at this, we have food here, but it also requires straw because it can put out manure as well as slurry. So this is, again, something that's specific to this mod, to this map, which is awesome. Having manure and slurry, very nice. And cool little touch. Ta-da! Animals can go in there, feed can go in here, and you can get your slurry out here. And then next door is the horse barn. We walk up to this, you'll see we have 1 horse with room for 12 of them. Again, we have feed, we have straw, those are things that are normal. Manure is also normal, but slurry can be gotten out of this horse pasture as well. So that is something to be pointed out. I'm not aware of any like base game barns that allow for slurry. I know manure is a thing, but I'm pretty certain slurry is its own kind of thing here, unique to this map. But right in front of me is the slurry output. Let's see. Feed can go in there, and animals, where, oh, there it is. Right there. Over here, we have our farm silo right there. A manure heap right here. And I'm pretty sure that the sheep and horses share that 1 manure heap. Here we have a pallet storage. Again, we have room for 300, 0 to start out with in here. A slurry silo right here. As you can see, you got the 10 liters of slurry in this at the moment. And that actually might be, now it just, no, never mind. No, wait. No, okay, yeah, the sheep do have output for slurry. So this, I think, is just a normal silo right here for your slurry. You can put in here, take out over here, but there's also a little party trick. Walk up to this, it says show fill characteristics. If I turn around, boom. It just gives you kind of like a little, okay, here's your indicator where you got to pull in to load your equipment. And that is it for the starting farm. So actually, let's go over here. We're going to grab the pickup truck, and we're going to start making our way around the map. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have to reference the map, the HUD down at the bottom left-hand corner several times throughout this tour, because the road network here is actually quite intricate on this map. So just bear with me if I have to expand the map out, make sure I'm going in the right direction. So starting out, we're going to leave the farm, going off to the right. And we're going to head down towards the river. Now coming up to this intersection here, gonna make a right. Now coming up here to my right, it's gonna be our first point of interest. Right here, this is the cereal factory. You can purchase a cereal factory for a whopping massive $0. That's right, $0 for the cereal factory. You have your input here, and your output is on the deck right over here. So my guess is that that is an incorrect price point, and that's going to be updated at a later date. Again, that is just a guess. We shall see. We have our train rent trigger right on the deck over there. Over here, we have the animal dealer, but as the description read, normally in previous versions, your output or your actual trigger point is right here for your animal dealer. But according to the description, you can go inside now and look, there's actual animals inside the building. Oh, I love it. But this is the animal dealer. This is the new pickup point for your animals. If you want to purchase animals, you can use this spot right here on the map, or you can use any of the pens and pastures, again, with that same animal dialog box right there. If you utilize these triggers directly, you will incur an additional fee. The fee is associated to a delivery fee. The animal dealer is taking the animals from this location and delivering them for you for an extra fee. Now, that fee adds up pretty quickly. If you want an adult cow, it costs an extra $100 per adult cow on top of the base price of $1,175. So that adds up pretty quickly, and that's $1,175 for the milking cows. As you can see, the beef cows are a bit more expensive. So that adds up pretty quickly depending on how much you want to buy. Now, if you want to save some money, bring your animal trailers. You do start out with the truck and the trailer, which will take cows and all the various other forms of animals. And you can bring it over here. You can park inside this little hazard mark area, and then you can load your animals in the trucks, and as opposed to having the animal dealer send them over for you. And then you save that little extra money. So we're going to hop back in the truck right over here, and we're going to make our way just out behind the building for our next point of interest. Just off in this direction here. Some more animal pens along the side. Back here we have the animal dealer sell point right there. And now you will see that there's a little red dot towards the north there. That's just the train sell point over there. I believe that was Fellsbrunn is what they called the sell point on this map. Coming up to my left, we have the gas station right there. Now, going to head off in this direction just for a little bit until we get to the next one. Right over here. Now we're going to make a left. And as we continue out directly to the east, we're going to head up to this roundabout directly in front of me. And take the first exit out of there. And again, through this one, we're going to take the second entrance. Or its second exit, I should say. And now here, we have something kind of interesting. So we have the mineral fertilizer lime station buy point, and we also have the grain storage sell point. Now, the reason I say this is kind of interesting is we take a look at the map just real quick. We zoom in here, you'll see the mineral fertilizer and lime sales station. Okay, fine. But then this is way over here, the grain storage. But the problem is that it puts the marker down as that sell point right over here, like in between these two buildings. But there is no marker that indicates that's the sell point. This indicates that this is a sell point. This is the buy point right here for your mineral, your solid fertilizer and your lime. And this is what appears to be the sell point for this particular area. So it does appear that the map is just slightly off. At least as best as I can tell. And again, if you tag the kind of specific location, it will pop it up just off to my right over there. So it was something I came through and tested, but that's my best guess is that's the real sell point where the tipping trailer icon is. Now here is where things are going to start to get a little crazy. And what I mean by that is the roads. The roads are going to get so crazy in a good way. You can already see it now, the undulations coming up. And what I'm going to do is, oh dear, oh dear, there we go. What I'm going to do is I plan on showing off the full route. So normally I'd sit back and I'd kind of cut some things out, or I'd try to fast travel to, specific places, because there's going to be a lot of area which we're going to cover. We're going to cover a lot of road network on this particular map tour. But the map is so beautiful that I'm not going to skip out on anything. It's worth the look. So we're going to go and open this gate. And here we're at a production point. This is the concrete plant. You can purchase this for $370,000. And we have our output right here. Wait a minute. go ahead and purchase that. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. So I didn't even realize this in my initial walkthrough, but you can see we put stone in, we get cement brick, cement bags, and roof plates, but we also get lime as a byproduct from this. So this is the output location for the lime. We have our output for our particular pallets right here, your palleted goods, and then you have your input right here for your stones. So now we're going to go jump back in the truck. Now you can see road traffic does come through these windy, twisty roads, as you saw right there, but wait till you see where else they get to. Traveling on these roads is going to be very difficult. So you're going to have to be ever vigilant and mindful of the road networks, of the traffic, making sure that you're going to be able to have enough room, like in this area here. This is exactly what I'm talking about, and vehicles do come back here. So you are going to have to compete for what little road space there is in this area. So going up this hill here. Stop right here. This is the restaurant sell point. And get turned around. We'll just cut through the grass and go in this direction. Again, cars go back here, so be careful. Like, I'm trying to fly through this so I can get through the entire tour in a reasonable amount of time, but yep, see that there it is. There's one of the cars I'm talking about. So there's a pole. The white poles along the side of the road have no collision, but these large lamp posts, those do have collisions. So directly in front of me, this is the Alpine sawmill. We go up to the wrench here. You can see we can purchase for $160,000. And our sell point, or input, is right there. Sell trigger right here. Cool little animation right here. Output for wood chips is right here. And output for our products is right there. Let's see. So I believe, yes, I continue on in this direction. Like I said, occasionally I'm going to have to reference the map or else I'm going to get lost and going to forget something. And there's a whole bunch of new stuff on this map that hasn't been around in previous iterations, so I don't want to miss out on anything. So as we continue to drive through these windy, twisty roads here on the southern portion of the map, ooh, man, it gets so beautiful back here. All right, so here to my left, you'll see we have, open the gate. Right here, we have the biomass heating plant with a wood cell trigger right there. That is a sell point. All right, so continuing on. Follow the road off in this direction to the south. Oops. Now coming up here, gonna make a left. Following this all the way back. You can see just how gorgeous all the views are. Now, back over here, the massive hotel here. Tucked away in the back, we have the Business Hotel Aventurine Sell Point. Now, one thing to note, big shout out to Will T Gaming for passing this along to me. I didn't know this beforehand, but you do not want to fast travel to this location, and I'm going to show you why. If we visit... Oh. Well, or was it the... Ah, there we go. You kind of visit and get stuck, as you can see. So fast traveling to the farmland. I thought it was fast traveling to the actual sell point here. It's to the farmland. If you fast travel to farmland number 33, it dumps you inside here and now you're stuck. But all I have to do is jump back to the truck and make our way through the rest of this tour. So now we're going to backtrack just a little way. Ooh wee. Just a little ways. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Come on, keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. Yes. Whew. See, you're going to have to be so careful. There's so many of these guardrails and all this stuff around here that you're going to be able to just do exactly what I did very, very easily. Now, most people are not going to go flying through the mountains here at like 45, 50, 60 miles an hour like I'm trying to do. I am trying to get through this as quickly as possible while still not missing out on anything. But I am going to cut through the way backwoods here on the southern portion of the map. This is going to be a long stint where we're not going to see much, but I wanted to purposely come back here because of just how beautiful the landscape is back here. It gets very windy, twisty, and again, you can see the roadway narrows out, and we do have traffic back here, so you're going to have to be super careful, you know, timing everything right. And we do have bridges, we do have things along those lines where, you know, it's going to be closed off in, you know, on both sides of the road. It's going to have like physical barriers and stuff. So you're going to have to kind of time it just right to where you're able to cross without having to worry about there being oncoming traffic. So again, we're just going to keep winding and twisting and turning, and you can just see everywhere we look. You got the sea way off in the distance over there, beautiful landscape. In the background there, we got the bridge way off in the distance, and there is a train that goes across that bridge. One of the things about this map, and part of the reason why, you can see the train right there, as a matter of fact, one of the reasons why this map is so huge at over a gig in size is because of all the details on this map. It is bonkers, the amount of details that are on this map. So we're just going to keep on following the road. Oh, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If you're on this road here with a tractor or something, and you're just not paying attention, or you come up on bad luck of the draw with a vehicle that just, hey, you're gonna have to contend with me now. Well, the joys of having traffic on small roads. Now over here, we have something of interest. If I walk up to this, you'll see up in the upper left-hand corner, the Mountain Mill is open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Please note that if you come onto this map for the very first time and you come up to gates that say it has an open and closing time, and the gate is closed and it's beyond the time you're expecting it to be open, so normally you load into a map and it's at 8 a.m., so it should be open if you come here, but it will be closed. What you have to do to get this to open is go to the top of the very next hour. So if you start at 8 o'clock, go to 9 o'clock. And then once 9 o'clock hits, the gates will open. This is not the only one that is timed, but this one, I think there's the biogas plant as well that's timed. Again, big shout out to Will T Gaming for pointing this out for me. Over here, we have the Mountain Mill production. $125,000 to buy. I'll go ahead and purchase that. You can see just a normal grain mill with our barley, oats, rice, sorghum, and wheat, making flour and or rice flour. Over here, there we go. We got our input right here and our output right over here. Gonna go back here and hop back in the truck. And now, continue to head down the hill, down the mountainside. And as we follow the windy, twisty roads, ever and ever closer to the main road, over here is not so much a point of interest as much as it is just kind of a special feature on this map. So this is the train loading ramp. So if you come up to this little icon right here, it says ramp sinken. Click it. And now we can load our items directly onto the train with a flat surface. Extremely helpful. Extremely helpful. If you want to utilize the train and don't want to have to like load from the ground, here you go. Get turned around and head over in this direction. Now coming up here, now this is the biogas plant, and this is another one of the gates that does have a timer on it. As you can see, BGA is open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So again, you're going to have to use that little trick I just showed you. The biogas plant can be purchased for $290,896. We'll go ahead and do that, and it's just normal biogas stuff, ins and outs. We got manure, silage, slurry, and sugar beets cut with our digestate, electrical charge, and methane as our outputs. Solid inputs here, we got our liquid inputs over here, and our liquid output right over here. Heading down the road just a little bit. So over here, this is the agricultural cooperative sell point. Around the back, where'd it go? I drove right past it, didn't I? Why am I not seeing it? So this is the output for the agricultural cooperative sell point, but where is the trigger? Where am I losing my mind? It just dawned on me that I didn't recall seeing this. Oh my goodness, there it is. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Agricultural cooperative sell point. This is where you can pick up all your palleted goods. All right, so moving on, because that's a wee bit embarrassing. We come up to the next kind of iconic piece to this map. As you can see here off to my right, whoops, there's a pole. Off to my right, we have the ski lift. Look at that. That is amazing. And stick around to the very end of this, where I do plan on showing the kind of really awesome feature that is involved with the ski lift. So as we continue to climb up the mountainside on this over here, again, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. If I had anything bigger than this truck here, would not have made it through there very happily. So you're going to have to be careful. You're going to have to be careful on certain roads where it's going to be very tight squeezes. And if you got a tractor, you're trying to come up here and sell stuff, it's going to be difficult. So up here we have, off in the corner, the first Bond sell point right there. And you get a much better look of the ski lift coming down from that area over there. So cool. Such an amazing little feature. First Bond. Continuing on. Got to backtrack all the way down the mountainside. All right, as we continue to go down the mountain. Going back to the main road. All the way down here. Cross the tracks and the bridge. Make a right. Past the loading ramp. And now, get into some fresh territory. Coming up here to my right. And see the rent train trigger right there on the platform. Through the second roundabout. Second exit. Now here, we have the Erlengrot Cheese Factory. $150,000 to purchase this. And we have our output here and input there. Continuing down the road just a little ways. Up this ramp, we have the bakery. Purchase this for $50,000. Output here, input over here. Now, at this intersection, we'll make a right. And over here, we have the shop trigger and the repair trigger right over here. Exit out of here. Take a right. Oops. Back there is the gas station. Almost flew right past that. Nope. We'll turn right here. Here we have the supermarket sell point to my left. Over here we have the Lychee Chocolatier production point. For $50,000 you can purchase this. And output here, input down here, and I think I accidentally skipped past I did. Over here is the tailor shop. You can purchase the tailor shop for $95,000. Our output is here, input is here. Rent train trigger, if I can get out of the tree, off by the tracks over there behind the building. And over here we have the transfer silo GLW right there. So that is a like train silo. All right, up here, make a left, followed by immediate right. We have our output for the production, which is the furniture carpentry Guggisberg? 300,000 to purchase that. And directly in front of me is the input right here. And last but certainly not least, tucked away up here, we have the wool spinning mill, 95,000 to purchase this. Output here, input over there. And that's it. That is everything here on the Alps. Now it's time to render my opinion, let you know what I think. 0 to 5 scale as per usual. 5 out of 5. Not even going to beat around the bush. 5 out of 5 all day, all night. Erlengrat by itself, the base, is such a good map. It was a very, very good map, and one of my favorites from Giants that I kind of got to experience firsthand from back in, I believe it was FS19, because I joined very late in the FS19 era. But then I got to also enjoy it there in 22. Again, you can see those trains just off in the distance, but it's the details. The details on this map is unbelievable. Okay. Let's start out with one problem. And it's something that kind of bugs me. It's the color palette. The color palette, I feel, is too colorful. You got the pinks, you got the purples, you got the blues, you got the whites, you got the yellow flowers, you've got reds, you got all these different color wildflowers. There's times when this map almost feels like cartoon vibes. Very, very close. But that's all the bad things I can say about this map. Other than that, I love this map. This map is incredible. The hills and undulations, the terrain is a like S tier, absolute S tier. I love how the terrain kind of ebbs and flows and really kind of just hugs around the mountainside. How you're just gradually just kind of swooping through the landscape and climbing any direction that you go in. I also love that it's going to be a struggle on this map. You are not going to make money fast on this map at all. You're going to have to struggle because all you have is your main starting farm, one field full of grass, and that's it. That's it. I mean, there's nothing else to be seen in the ways of anything, really. And then on top of all that, like, yeah, you get a good amount of starting equipment. You get a lot of starting equipment, but it's like nothing that's like that you can just unload and not do anything with. Like you're going to need a lot of that equipment to be able to produce anything, really. Now, I came back up here because there's kind of a nice little feature about this map. And in the description it said that during the winter months, this actually has skiers on it. Now, if you stuck around this long, heard me render my opinion, all that, I wanted to show this off because, again, it's those small details. Now, this isn't small. This is actually very, very heavy detail. You know, you got this little ski lodge right here with the gondola ride going up to like the actual drop-off point, and you actually get skiers down here. I mean, that by itself, just the gondola ride moving is amazing. Then you got like the train that goes off in the distance that moves. You can see it passing by right now. Apparently, if you speak of it, it shows up. But I mean, you just get so much in the way of detail, and everywhere you're looking, it's just picturesque and beautiful. Even the very far off distance that you can see on this particular map is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. You've got so much detail everywhere you look. And yeah, that's why it's going to be a 5 out of 5. Now, by the time I get us to winter and doing all that stuff, it's going to take you all of a second to see this. It's going to take me a little time to set it up, but I'll bring us back in just several months. Here we are. We're in January, 8 a.m. And check that out. All the skiers just zipping on by, enjoying the snow. How awesome is that? Details, details, details. It's all in the details. Details like this can make a okay map into a good map. A good map into a great map. A great map into an amazing map. But these details certainly made an amazing map. When I first saw this, I got chills. I was like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to, animate skiers go zipping down the hillside. You don't have to animate, the gondola, the little snow train, or not snow train, the snow cart, taking you up. None of that stuff you have to do. But this map maker went out of their way to do it. And holy smokes, we are the richer for it, because this is amazing. Absolutely incredible. Again, just all the details. And then what I love about this as well, so I'm right up here next to the periphery of the map. You can see the periphery kind of cut right through this portion right over here. You can see that snow carried all the way out into the outer picture. Again, details. That might be part of the kind of base mechanics and stuff. I don't care. I don't care. That is a huge detail, because how jarring would it be if you had snow up in here and then just green lush terrain on the outer perimeter here? That would be almost, in my opinion, almost unusable. But you can see just the snow covering the roads. I can only imagine trying to drive on these now. Speaking of which, why not? Let's do a quick little zip through and do our sign out. But I really hope that you all that snow. I hope you enjoyed this map tour. And if you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. It shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.